Congratulations, LeBron James, the NBA most valuable player.
Here's Wade, there's James, and the first takeoff of this series. Woo. Oh, Bosh to the basket, took a hard hit. Here's James. George with a step, blocked by Wade. But this baby is over.
Pacers and Heat Game 1. LeBron James receiving his Kia NBA MVP trophy from NBA Commissioner David Stern. Frank Vogel stirred the waters, calling Miami the biggest flopping team in the NBA. That was on Thursday. What went down on Sunday? How about that jumper from David West? Part of a 9-0 Pacers run. They led 13-4. And check out Wade's alley-oop to James.
This is nice. You see the Pacers got off to a nice start, but then the Miami Heat got back into it. You cannot let them get in transition. Look at this play from Wade to James. Beautiful.
Incredible. And then it's Tyler Hansbrough. Little fake, little J. Indy led by 3 after the first quarter. Lou Amundsen now in the second quarter is going to block Dwayne Wade. Wait for it. Wait for it. Amundsen got it. Darren Collison is running. He puts it in. Indy up by 6, but their coach Frank Vogel wants more passing.
For each other, championship level passing. Do what the Mavericks did, but do it better. Look, they can't guard great passing.
And Kendall, check out this passing by the Pacers.
Yeah, great passing. Check out this trickeration.
Leading to the jam by Tyler Hansbrough. The Pacers led 36-28. Speaking of flopping, Sam.
Well, Mike Miller did flop a little bit on that one, but David West, I can understand him getting out of the way of a man.
Vogel saying right there, see? That's what I told y'all. And then the injury bug would hit the Miami Heat. Chris Bosh going up for the dunk and one, but he gets up slowly. He would stay in the game to make that free throw, and he would leave the game on the next Pacers possession, and it was diagnosed as an abdominal strain, and he did not return.
Well, you can see he couldn't stand up straight. You can see he's in pain. It's unfortunate for the Miami Heat, also individually with Chris Bosh, because he was having a really good first half.
And in the second half, Turioff and Joel Anthony stepped up.
On the recipient from LeBron James, and that's what great players do. They make other players good. You can see LeBron James right there just absolutely taking over in the second half.
He was un-MVP-like in the first half with just 6 points, but the 3-time MVP had 26 points in the second half. That behind the back feed to Ronnie Turioff for the dunk. Miami within 1, and then it's more from Darren Collison. This and 1 put the Pacers up by 2. Sam Collison and Hill combined for 20 points and 9 assists.
And they did a great job, but most of their points was attacking the basket. And that's what Indiana's got to do. They got to score their points in the paint.
Wade ties the game at 68. They were tied 70 apiece heading to the fourth quarter. LeBron James goes glass, and his mom, Gloria, loves it.
Yes, indeed. Getting a chance to watch LeBron James play on Mother's Day, but both him and Dwayne Wade had the attack mentality that we going to score and get into that yellow, that paint, and they did so.
Wade put the Heat up by 6, and then Paul George with the miss. Roy Hibbert put it in. We had a 5-point game, and then George Hill with the 3. Here we go, Indy within 1.
Knocks it down, and Mario Chalmers, we see you. You got your ankles broke a little bit right there. You think we didn't see you, but we saw you.
Speaking of Chalmers, he gets the long rebound off to LeBron for a picturesque slam. And the Heat go up by 5, and then LeBron with the miss. Sam setting up the chase down by Wade.
And that's what LeBron James does the best. He and Dwayne Wade. They let you get a head start, and then they chase you down like thoroughbreds and block your shot.
Incredible defense by Wade, and then Wade right here somehow gets it to LeBron James. He hits the jumper. Miami goes on to win Game 1, 95-86, and LeBron and Gloria seal the victory with a kiss on Mother's Day. How do you like that? Heat prevail by 9. They lead this series 1-0. LeBron James goes for 32, 15, and 5. It's the first 30 and 15 of his playoff career, and he becomes the second Heat player with a 30-15 game. Shaquille O'Neal was the previous guy to do it. The Heat shoot 0 of 6 from three-point range, the first time in Heat playoff history. They got a bagel in the three-pointers made column, and after the game, here's Frank Vogel on Danny Granger's 1 of 10 performance in Game 1.
Well, you know, his coach has got to get a little more creative in getting him better shots. And, you know, I don't know if he's going to have a huge offensive series when you have to guard the MVP, you know, for 38 minutes. You know, that takes a lot out of your offensive game. And, you know, obviously LeBron's the MVP of the league because he's the best defensive player in the league, too. So that has something to do with it as well.
got to about the 7 or 6 minute mark, came back into timeout, and I just looked him straight in the eyes and said, you flat out cannot get tired, period. And he made MVP plays on both ends of the court. The rebounding, defending, David West there in the fourth quarter, but also creating a lot of offense for us, particularly in the fourth quarter when we needed some relief.
We took it upon ourselves, me and D-Wade, to know we had to put the team on our back. Of course, with CB, one of our biggest, assets, back in the locker room with an injury.
James and Wade stepped up big time. They had 42 combined points in the second half, besting the entire Indiana Pacers team. They had 38 points in the second half. Kendall Gill, how does that happen?
Well, when Chris Bosh goes out, they make a concerted effort to come out in the second half and pick up the scoring load because they know that Chris Bosh isn't going to be there. Also, in the back of their minds, we cannot lose game 1 in this series.
Well, I look at it, Kendall, I totally agree. And then one stat I look at for them, well, there's a couple. They only had 3 turnovers. They got to the line combined 24 times, and then they didn't shoot but 3 three-pointers. You can tell when they're not selling for jump shots and they're in attack mode, it puts a lot of pressure on these defensive teams to try to keep those guys out of the paint. You're going to have to try to find a way to make them shoot jump shots, whether it's zone, whether it's building out, whether it's double team, because if you do let those 2 guys run free, they're going to beat you.
James and Wade combined for 61 points in Game 1. Incredible. Let's look at the series schedule right now. Game 2 coming up from Miami Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. And Sam Mitchell, let's talk adjustments for Frank Vogel and the Indiana Pacers heading into Game 2.
Well, they just got to make sure the ball goes inside. It's not how many shots Roy Hibbert and David West get. It's how many touches they get. Play the game from inside out. Make Miami strength the court. Make them have to be aware of that inside presence. Then when the ball is kicked out, they don't have to necessarily shoot three-pointers. They got to make Miami rotate, put them in full rotation. And the 3 they should be looking for is that corner 3. That's the spot that's going to be open. Also, be willing to turn down the 3 and attack the basket. Even if you miss, it gives you an opportunity to clean up on the glass. You can't run taking the ball out. And that's what Indiana's got to do. They got to make Miami consistently take the ball out after they score.
David West and Roy Hibbert both had double-doubles, and Sam Mitchell wants more in Game 2.